Is there strength to be found on Troost Avenue? To answer that, let's go back and look at how Troost became what it is today. In 1954, the desegregation of schools prompted some pretty dramatic changes in our city. Fueled by discrimination, a collaboration took place. Real estate companies encouraged white people to move to the new and beautiful suburbs. Neighborhood associations began blocking black families and others from moving to certain areas. Banks left minority neighborhoods, and Troost became the boundary line for school districts. By the 1980s, when Reconciliation Services was just starting to work in this area, Troost had become the economic and racial dividing line of our city.
Hi there, my name is Mike Marcus. I'm a deacon in the United Methodist Church appointed to Reconciliation Services here in Kansas City. And I'm here just to share a little more about the information Father Justin just shared about. He talked about a collaboration that took place between banks and real estate developers that caused folks to move to the suburbs. What we saw in this historical process is something that's well documented, not just in Kansas City, but 278 cities across the country, Wichita included. If you lived on what was the wrong side of that dividing line, you couldn't qualify for things like personal loans, business loans, or home loans, things that you needed to economically advance yourself, while at the same time tax dollars from white flight in communities began to see disinvestment from banks, disinvestment from social institutions, and disinvestment from businesses. They chose to leave those areas during this period of redlining. And those ramifications last until today. You can see on this map here, this is what's called a racial dot map. Every dot on this map is representative of 12 individuals, and where you see tan dots, that's representative of 12 white individuals, and every yellow dot is representative of 12 black or African American individuals. There are no streets on this map, but you can see right where Troost Avenue cuts through our city. Now, it's easy to see something like this and question, where's the hope? How can we be part of this change, be part of this solution? So just a quick glimpse at our work. Reconciliation is in our name. We started as a ministry of the Orthodox Church and have grown into a fairly large, influential nonprofit in the Kansas City area where we meet the needs of our neighbors by trying to reconcile that divide, by creating gathering spaces, by teaching our neighbors on both sides of the dividing line the importance of being a social leader and being aware of your bias. We also provide ID assistance, rent and utilities assistance. We have 3 full-time therapists that work to deal with that generational trauma that exists in the community that we serve, so that we can begin to change lives and generations one person at a time. And we also have the foster grandparent program where we facilitate conversations between low-income senior adults and combat loneliness that exists in those communities and students who need that mentorship and support. And so they go into dozens of schools across the city and provide individual mentorship and support alongside teachers. And so this is just one example, one small glimpse into the history of redlining. This is something that was well documented, it was well thought out and well executed. And so when we talk about creating lasting change in areas that have been redlined, this is hard work, this is emotional work, this is unpacking generations of trauma and poverty and experience. And while it can seem bleak at times, there is hope. There is hope in the countless stories of lives that have been changed by a listening ear, by a meal that was served with dignity and respect, and advocacy that was done for our community, by our community, so that we can continue to transform Troost Avenue from a dividing line into a gathering place. Thank you so much, and feel free to reach out if you want to learn more about our work, if you want to learn more about redlining. Jacob also has my contact information, but I would love to share more with your community. So thank you so much for tackling this difficult topic.